What's up guys? You probably clicked on the video wanting to transform your Borno loft into a more beautiful area. Stay tuned, I'm gonna give you step by step on exactly how I did it. Everything I purchased was through either Lowe's or Home Depot or even Amazon. Did all the work myself. Made a quick B-roll for y'all. So here we go. Alright guys, so step number one for any project, really prepare yourself. Preparing your tools, having the right tools. You can probably buy all this stuff for about 10 bucks. Kidding. And yeah, preparing your material, having an idea of what you're actually gonna do, and then execute it. Have your paint where the paint needs to be, your electrical ready, flooring, a little cutting station's fine. The next step is demo and rough in. This consists of where you want to cut your carpet if you're not finishing the floor all the way out here. The rough in part, if you're installing some new lights, you got to know where exactly you want your holes drilled out. Removing any outlets or phone cables, internet cables, you want to know exactly where to put them as well. Yeah, let's get to it. I'm gonna start working and it's gonna be a time lapse with some voiceover. Okay, so the first thing I did here was mark the carpet and then I cut into sections, probably about, I think it was like 5 feet, so that way it makes it easier to throw away the trash. And then next I started to pull my wires. You want to be careful when you're doing this. What I did was I went up top and drilled from the bottom, from the top down. And anytime you're dealing with electricity, please always turn off the power and make sure that the breaker is off for all circuits that you're dealing with. And over here I'm pulling wire from my fireplace and I'm framing it out. That's pretty much it for So guys, it's the next day now. This is how far I've gotten. Pretty much gotten ready for the recessed fireplace I'm gonna do, where I'm gonna hang the TV. I already pulled my wire. I'm just waiting for the fireplace to actually wire everything up. Right now I'm prepping for paint, but as you can see, I cleaned up, and this is a big step on any kind of project. I'm gonna be cleaning up every day. I have my lights, they're already wired up. Still don't have power to it yet. The entire loft is on one circuit breaker. Over there I'm doing like a bench and a slash storage area. But yeah, prepping for paint. Okay, this is a simple step, but it's going to be one of the most important ones because it's going to make the job way easier. You're taping off things that you really don't want paint on, and it's going to make your life a lot easier, trust me. You're taping up all the whites, all the electrical boxes, everything, the windows especially. And I was going to spray, but my spray gun broke, so yeah. Okay, it is the next day now. Now I'm all ready to paint. I am spraying the first part of the gray, and then the bottom half over there is going to be a different kind of gray. Everything's taped off and ready to go. Step 4 is the paint. Yeah, as you can see, any project you do, really just plan for the worst. I had bought this little paint kit just for actually painting like the trim and whatnot, but it came with a roller, so I ended up using a roller instead because my paint gun, the pump in it broke, and yeah, it was gonna take some time to get it shipped, so I just went to plan B, and it's fine. I just like the finish on the paint gun better, and usually want to paint top to bottom, and I only did 2 coats on that dark color. So now that I finished painting, I'm installing the fireplace, and I'm actually doing a dry fit, make sure everything fits nice, and I'm hardwiring into the actual power to the house so it stays on. But it actually has an on and off switch on it, so yeah, and it's controlled by a remote. This is how it's going right now. Fireplace is in, everything's wired up. Now I just gotta clean up, and it's time to start the floor. So when it comes to installing floors, the hardest thing I've found, especially for laminate flooring, is installing the first 2 rows. The best advice I can give is to have somebody stand on it as a weight, and then that way you can at least get to the 3rd row and then start going from there, because after that it's pretty repetitive. What I like to do is I do the entire row and it's not connected yet. I wait till I finish the row from wall to wall, and then I connect it all as one piece. So with any laminate flooring, you don't want to spend a lot of time hammering it. It chips easier and it breaks. It's not hardwood, so you can't just whack at it all day and not expect it to break. I like to treat this like if it was an actual job. And yeah, I don't want to waste material. I don't want to spend a lot of time making a fancy cut and just for it to get chipped when I go to hammer it. So yeah, you want to try to snap it in and use force with pushing it, not hammering it. Just finished up the floor. The next step will be putting the floor trim, the shiplap, and I have a little mid trim that I'm gonna do something special with. And that's my cubby slash seating area. It's gonna have shiplap as well. I don't think I'm gonna put the trim around it, but I will stop it at the end. Yeah, that's the next step. We're getting really close to finishing. So with Shiplap, the best thing I figured was I wasn't gonna cut any pieces. I was gonna get full 8-foot boards and install them behind the fireplace, and that's the main reason I got a recessed fireplace. And this one only comes out 4 inches, so I really didn't even have to build out the wall. And the biggest thing with Shiplap is to get the first row leveled, and then after that I'm doing all my cuts with a miter saw, and I'm doing all my other cuts like on the fly with an osculating tool. And I want to conceal all my wires, so you see me doing that right now. I'm cutting it off for that, and I'm cutting out my outlet. And yeah, but I forgot to put the support for the actual TV, so you're gonna see me tear it all down just to put the support again. Yeah, that was fun. And I don't know if you can tell in the video, but they're not flush, so what I'm gonna do on the ends, I'm going to pre-drill holes and then button them all up with some sheetrock screws, and it's gonna be all covered by the trim piece I'm going to put. So yeah, that helped out a lot and made the finish look really good. And over here I had the bright idea of putting a little LED light and then putting a piece of trim on top of it that was basically gonna act like a J channel, but it kind of looked kind of tacky at the end, so I took it off and made the house look like a barbershop. So yeah, I took it off and then I put a regular piece of trim, and over here I'm installing the floor trim, and that was pretty straightforward, just cutting everything at 45s. The house is pretty square, so that helped out a lot. And that is the finished product. If you stuck around this long, please like, comment, subscribe, and when you comment, please let me know what you liked about the video and what you didn't like. This is my first YouTube video and I'm trying, okay? It's hard to demo and to do everything with a camera because it gets so dusty. I had to clean my lens several times. So yeah, please let me know in the comments what you liked about the build, what you didn't like. And right now I'm showing the cubby. I didn't get a time lapse of that or anything really, but yeah, it's a little storage area and you can also sit on it. And at the end I actually have some pictures of how it looks. I didn't like how the video came out. It looks really grainy and noisy. I don't know why. I have the Sony a6400, so if you have any recommended settings for that camera, please let me know. And this is one of many projects that I plan to do on my house. I started with the loft because it wasn't in use, and yeah, I think it was the perfect start to this channel. For my next project, I plan on turning one of my spare rooms into a nursery and actually staging it like if it was one. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and I hope you liked the video. Thank you.